You won't believe what America's first black idol, Ruben Studdard, just did. After years of silence and staying away from headlines, Ruben dropped something unexpected. It wasn't a new album, it wasn't a tour announcement. It was a message that wasn't meant for the world, it was meant for one person. And that person was Jamal Robert. For most people, the name Jamal Robert meant nothing. But for Ruben, Jamal was once everything. And the story behind them? Let me tell you, it's nothing like what you think. Back in 2003, when Ruben won American Idol, the whole country celebrated. He was called the Velvet Teddy Bear, and people fell in love with his soft voice and kind heart. He sang with soul. He made people cry. But behind the music, Ruben had a secret pain. The cameras showed us the winner, the smiles, the awards, but they didn't show the man who sat alone after the lights turned off. Ruben was carrying a broken friendship, a friendship that once gave him strength, but later tore him apart. Long before Idol, before the fame and the fans, Ruben and Jamal were inseparable. They met in high school and quickly became like brothers. Ruben often said Jamal believed in him when no one else did. When Ruben didn't even believe in himself, Jamal pushed him. "You're going to be something big," Jamal used to tell him. And Ruben listened. When he got into music, Jamal was the one holding the camera. He was the one calling radio stations, handing out flyers, booking gigs in small churches and clubs. This is how Ruben built his name, step by step, with Jamal right by his side. But then, something changed. After Idol, Ruben's life moved fast. There were contracts, shows, managers, press interviews, and new people everywhere. Suddenly, the man who had always been next to him wasn't around anymore. Jamal disappeared from photos, from events, and slowly, from Ruben's life. Rumors started to swirl. People whispered about arguments, jealousy, even betrayal. But neither of them spoke about it publicly. Ruben stayed quiet, and Jamal stayed gone. And just like that, a 10-year friendship vanished, without warning, without answers. For years, fans asked what happened to Jamal, but Ruben always dodged the question. He talked about music, about life, about God, but never about Jamal. Some said Jamal had tried to contact Ruben and got ignored. Others claimed Ruben's team cut him off, fearing he was too controlling. But nobody knew the truth. Not until now, because recently, out of nowhere, Ruben posted something on a private forum. And what he wrote shocked everyone who saw it. It wasn't a post for fans. It wasn't for the press. It was for Jamal. And the things he said, that's where it gets interesting. Ruben admitted he made mistakes. He said he let fame change the way he looked at people. He admitted that when the cameras came, he left some real ones behind. He said he thought Jamal would always be there, waiting, but now he realized that life doesn't work like that. He called Jamal his biggest supporter and his biggest regret. And then came the craziest part. He called it his final message, a goodbye, a closing door. But here's the shocking part. It wasn't just a message of sorrow. It was a message of hope, too. Ruben said if he could go back, he would choose loyalty over fame. He said he still remembered the little things, late night talks, gas station snacks after shows, laughter before performances. And he ended the message with one line that broke everyone's heart. "I hope you're still out there. I hope you're okay. And if this ever reaches you, I'm sorry." The internet couldn't stay quiet after that message leaked. Fans were stunned. Some cried, others were angry, and a few even started digging. Who exactly was Jamal Robert? Why had he been so close to Ruben? And why had he disappeared without a trace? It wasn't long before someone claimed they found him. A blurry photo popped up online, showing a man who looked like Jamal working at a small recording studio in Birmingham, Alabama. The caption read, "Is this the man Ruben wrote about?" The image went viral in hours. Reporters swarmed the studio, but Jamal didn't say a word. No interviews, no statements, nothing. Just silence. And that made people even more curious. Why wouldn't he speak up? Was he hurt? Was he angry? Or was he hiding something? A local journalist named Melissa Grant didn't stop there. She went deep into Jamal's past and found something no one saw coming. A court record from 2005, just 2 years after Ruben won Idol, showed Jamal had filed a lawsuit against a music label that worked with Ruben. The case was sealed, but the details around it were strange. The document mentioned breach of trust, verbal agreements, and unrecognized contributions. In simple terms, Jamal believed he was promised something for helping Ruben, but never got it. That made fans question everything. Had Ruben really left him behind? Or had the industry chewed Jamal up and spit him out? Ruben had never mentioned money in his message, but now people started to connect the dots. Was his apology just guilt? Or was there more that we weren't being told? While the world debated, something else happened, something no one expected. A new Instagram account popped up with the name @TruthJamal. At first, people thought it was fake, but then came a voice message. The voice was soft, deep, and emotional, and it sounded exactly like Jamal. In the recording, he said, "I never wanted to be famous. I just wanted to help my brother win." His voice cracked as he talked about the early days, how they prayed together before shows, how they celebrated every little win, how he watched Ruben grow into someone the world loved. Then his tone changed. He said the fame brought people who smiled in Ruben's face but whispered poison in his ear. He said he was pushed out slowly and quietly. No big fight, just doors closing one by one. He stopped calling, Jamal said. He stopped answering. And the worst part is, now I understood, fame doesn't change people overnight. It breaks them piece by piece. And Ruben didn't even see it happening. That message spread like wildfire. Fans were divided. Some felt Jamal was being dramatic. Others said he sounded like someone deeply hurt, still holding back tears years later. But then came the biggest twist of all. Just as people were starting to pick sides, Jamal ended the voice note with something chilling. "They didn't just push me out. They warned me. They told me if I spoke, I'd lose everything. And they were right. I lost my name, my work, my brother, but I never lost the truth." Now, people weren't just talking about Ruben and Jamal. They were talking about them, the ones Jamal mentioned but never named. Who were they? Music executives, managers, Ruben's inner circle, or was Jamal imagining things? No one knew for sure, but something was clear. This wasn't just a broken friendship. This was a buried story. A storm that had been hiding under the surface for years, and it was finally starting to rise. The story now had a life of its own. Every radio station, podcast, and gossip blog was talking about Ruben and Jamal. But what came next made it even worse. A former producer from American Idol, a man named Marcus Hinton, gave a rare interview. And what he said turned everything upside down. He claimed he remembered Jamal very well. He said Jamal wasn't just Ruben's best friend. He was part of the strategy. Jamal knew how to work a crowd. He was the brains behind Ruben's stage presence. A quiet genius, Marcus said. According to him, Jamal helped write some of Ruben's original demo tracks, coached him through interviews, and even managed his early bookings. But the moment Ruben signed that deal, everything changed, Marcus added. He claimed Jamal wasn't invited to any of the label meetings. It was like he vanished. I thought maybe it was a fallout. But now I think someone made sure he was gone. That interview shook the internet. If Jamal was so important, why wasn't he ever mentioned before? Why was his name erased from Ruben's journey? People started digging again, looking for early footage, behind-the-scenes interviews, anything that showed Jamal. And slowly, clips started surfacing. One video from a backstage moment showed Jamal hugging Ruben minutes before he performed. Another clip showed him praying with Ruben. He was always there, always just out of the spotlight, like a shadow. Then, something even stranger happened. A woman named Latasha Reed came forward. She claimed to be Jamal's cousin, and she had kept letters Jamal wrote during those years. She posted photos of them online. The handwriting matched the voice note, and the words, they were heartbreaking. In one letter, Jamal wrote, "I don't regret helping him. I just regret believing I mattered after it was all over." In another, "Fame has a way of pretending to love you just long enough to bleed you dry." These letters hit people hard, and still, Ruben said nothing, not a word, no tweet, no post, no interview, just silence. His fans were torn. Some said he was probably in pain, struggling to figure out what to say. Others believed his silence meant guilt. And then the silence broke, but not from Ruben. An anonymous account shared what they claimed was a copy of the contract Ruben signed in 2003. The document showed multiple clauses, one of which allowed the label to choose who could be in Ruben's official team. That clause was circled in red, and next to it, a note said, "Remove Jamal, not marketable." That line sent shockwaves everywhere. If it was real, it meant Ruben might not have had a choice, that the decision to cut off Jamal wasn't his. It was the label's. But it also meant Ruben knew. He may not have been the one who pulled the trigger, but he watched it happen and said nothing. People were furious, not just at the label, but at the system. How many other Jamals were there in the industry? Quiet people who helped build stars, only to be erased when the cameras came on? It wasn't just a story of one man anymore. It was a story of how the industry used and discarded people. A story of silence, loyalty, and betrayal. And just when the dust seemed like it might settle, someone from Ruben's own family broke their silence. A cousin named Terrence posted on Facebook, "All I'm going to say is Jamal deserved better. Some of us tried to stop it, but the machine was too big." The internet had reached a boiling point. Ruben's name trended for days, not because of a comeback tour or new music, but because of a story he never thought would return. Every hour, new pieces came out. More letters, more testimonies, more people who claimed they had seen what happened to Jamal. But still, Ruben kept quiet. Until one night, out of nowhere, a video was uploaded to his official YouTube channel. No intro, no music, no press release. Just Ruben sitting in a dark room, looking like he hadn't slept in days. He didn't speak for the first 30 seconds. He just stared into the camera, eyes heavy. Then finally he said, "I never thought I'd have to talk about this, but maybe I should have a long time ago." His voice cracked as he spoke. He admitted that Jamal had been his best friend, his brother, the person who helped shape everything from his style to his mindset. "I owe that man more than I ever said, and that's on me." He said the label forced decisions that he didn't know how to fight, that at 24, fresh off a major win, he was scared to lose it all. "They told me I had to let some people go, that it was for my image. I didn't fight hard enough. I didn't fight at all." Then came the part that broke people. He said he had tried to reach out to Jamal after signing the deal, but by then, Jamal had already moved away. "He didn't want to talk to me, and I didn't chase him. I was ashamed." Ruben wiped tears from his face and added, "I got famous, but I lost the one person who believed in me before any of y'all even knew my name." He said he saw the viral voice note, the letters, and the contract leak, and that it crushed him. "I deserve this storm. I let it happen. And if Jamal's watching this, wherever he is, I'm sorry. I failed you." The video went viral within minutes. Millions watched, comments poured in, some praising him for finally speaking, others saying it was too little, too late. But just when the world thought they had seen the last twist, Jamal himself posted on Instagram it was a black and white photo, just his hand holding a notebook, the caption, "Forgiven, but not forgotten." The comment section exploded. Was it really him? People couldn't believe it. News outlets tried reaching out to him, but Jamal stayed silent. No interviews, no statements, just that one post, a reminder that he was still watching. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about betrayal, it was about closure. People debated what forgiveness really looked like, whether healing could happen in public, and if someone like Ruben could ever redeem himself. But the damage was done. The music industry had been exposed again for what it truly was behind the lights. A place where loyalty could be sold, silence could be bought, and truth always came out, even if it took 20 years. And just like that, the story that started with a forgotten friend and a leaked voice note became one of the most painful yet powerful lessons in fame. Not everything that glitters is loyal. Not every success story is clean, and not every apology comes in time.